What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, EVM compatibility coming to Terra Luna Classic. What am I talking about? Well, this could be the next big thing for the chain. How possible is it, and what difference will it make? As well as taking a look at some price action. So make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button, and don't forget, hit a like if you're bullish on Terra Luna Classic. With that being said, let's take a look at the overall cryptocurrency market. So right now the market is sitting at a $1.74 trillion market cap. Bitcoin 45,355. Good news, the price looks like it's recovering once again as that anticipation yet for another day builds on the potential launch of an ETF. Obviously, all eyes right now are on Bitcoin. Ethereum's having a pretty decent run, as is BNB. But if we come down the list, you'll see Terra Luna Classic hasn't had the best of days, and certainly the best couple of days. We are down to the 85th highest ranked cryptocurrency out there as we come down the list. You'll see we are just down about 1.7%. 1424 is the current price, coming down from those kind of big highs that we got at the start of the year. But where are we up? Volume 51 million. Always good to see the volume is increasing. That ultimately supports the continuous Binance burn, and we can say that because we know Binance will continue to burn Terra Luna Classic. So what am I talking about? Well, this is a proposal put by Clan Mudhorn. Some of you may well have known him. Ultimately, he's been around the space for ages. He's kind of been a part of the Luna Classic community for a long, long time, and kind of changing the narrative a little bit. And I guess, look, I'm kind of all for it. It says investigate EVM functionality through Ethermint, EvoMoss SDK, or Solidity off-chain compiler. So ultimately, what is this all about? Well, it is about building using the Solidity language, allowing further development on the Terra Classic chain. It says, in my own personal stance, the Terra Classic and wider community must need strike out along other potential paths in order to discover, occupy, and new potential value propositions along the way. Now, ultimately, we talked about this. Burning is not just the only thing that's going to get there. We have to do a multiple of things really to start to make the chain viable. We talked about the value locked up on it, 4.32 down to 4.23 million now as the time of recording this video. But we do need to start to see dApps as well as everything else starting to come to the chain. We've seen the huge rise of Solana down to its meme coins, and ultimately that kind of meme coin token launching on their blockchain. So ultimately, what is this all about? Well, it's about increasing the chain's potential. The most widely adopted and continuously growing smart contract language is Solidity, utilized by Ethereum and Ethereum virtual machine developers. So we see it on things like Matic and many others. In this proposal, we propose to signal to all active Terra Classic developers that the community would like to begin research and development of implementing the Ethereum application module, forking EvoMoss SDK or the Solidity off-chain compiler in order to make Terra Classic EVM compatible. Now, this unlocks a huge door to many, many other developers, and equally, whether we like it or not, that meme coin movement. It's all about volume. We have to get volume. Volume brings burns, etc. It's completely linked to the two things together. We cannot be, unfortunately, snobbish in this moment. So by allowing EVM compatibility, we will enable the industry's largest and fastest growing body of developers, yet another platform to come and build, allowing even more potential for economic infusion into the Terra Classic ecosystem. A larger pool of developers looking to build can easily be correlated with more fruit-bearing ideas within the space. And I've talked about this a while, actually, that it's a continuation of ideas, and ultimately we will get to some very, very good developments on the chain. Recently, we've had that with the big spike in price. A lot of people now starting to look for ways we can continue with the chain. We can make the chain better. We can continue to see this volume come in, as I think it's very, very important. Now, ultimately, I'm not going to go into the technicals because that's definitely not my skill point, but it says, we open up the Terra platform to EVM, also known as the Ethereum virtual machine. EVM has been a global standard for blockchain development since 2013 and has over 910 separate chains under its umbrella. This gives Terra Classic the potential to become compliant with new and emerging technologies like optimistic transactions, where Terra Classic does not need to send direct security information on each transactions, and roll-ups, which allows significantly more transactions to be processed at once, dramatically increasing the processing power of Terra Classic. It goes through kind of all of the technical side of things as to how it lands, but ultimately could be very, very good news. We also talk here, Jesus Lord talks about, came across the only Cosmos EVM compatible chain called EvoMoss. Also saw that more EVM compatibility caused their blockchains to shut down due to security issues. So there's a lot to work through, as it would do, but for me, innovation, ideas must be explored and ultimately enhance because it's going to better the chain. If we take a look at what's going on in some of the statistics, there's that Binance burn. We did burn about 9 million Luna Classics so far. Good news, we continue to see the staking number move, about 500,000 restaked with Terra Classics. So that's good news as well. And what's the price prediction? A lot of people expecting a significant move. Now, we've talked about this a while. On a good green candle today, USTC is up 10%, by the way. So USTC having a fantastic day right now. Are we going to see this continuation up with Luna Classic? Well, we need to break the 14.6s. As I talked about, this potential move up here to the 15.4s is where we'd be looking for that next point of resistance and then a potential break. So we've got a bit to go. The absolute momentum, though, right now looks like it's going in the right direction. Break past 14.6. That's key. That's where we've dumped now twice in a row. Break above that. Definitely looking to retest 15.4 and then potentially even up and start to move our way up the chain to see where we get to. Overall market, though, looks bullish. Terra Luna Classic, lots coming. Let me know in the comments what you think. EVM compatibility coming to Terra Luna Classic. Is it a good thing or not? As ever, thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with everything going on in cryptocurrency. Smash that like button. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.